Hello grapplers and welcome to a new Zangief video. Today we're gonna talk about Burnout and Zangief. Thanks to Delta number 8 for the suggestion. Zangief is not the best character to benefit from Burnout. You do want to get it because you have lost frames and you can threaten the opponent with grabs, but since Zangief doesn't have a good tool to do chip damage, he doesn't benefit that much. If the opponent knows the matchup, they'll know that if they keep a distance between themselves and Zangief, even in Burnout, Zangief is not that threatening. You want to burn out your opponent for one reason, so they don't have invincible reversals. How do you get them to burn out? Definitely your best option, headbutt on block, your best option to take away drive damage. Now, consider that if you want to keep your pressure, they can technically drive reversal this on block. The only headbutt that they cannot do that against is the meaty headbutt. But the regular one right here, they can drive reversal. The other two are standing medium punch and crouching medium punch. So with two attacks, you're likely taking away one dry gauge. So standing medium punch and crouching medium punch are also your best tools on block to burn out your opponent. Since this is -2 and this is -1, it's not that dangerous to hit someone on block with this. Now the rest of the buttons are certainly useful, but they don't do as much damage, and this is 0. It's weird to use this because it's not the best poke to create a burnout situation. You can use it, but it's way better to use this and this. Now, what do you do when they are in Burnout? Your best options are definitely frame traps and grabs. Since everything is +4 or get 4 extra frames to everything you do, a lot of your buttons are gonna be plus on block. For example, +2. So this is a great tool to create a situation where you can technically throw the opponent with this +2. And remember, every time you hit your opponent on block and they're in Burnout, they're recovering their Burnout gauge or the dry gauge faster. So don't go and start poking them like loco, because you're gonna directly recover them from Burnout faster. Let's say you hit someone with 1. This is SPD range, so you can throw them with SPD. That's great. If you are close, you can go for a regular grab. That's a great option. Now you are +2. That means that this is a frame trap. Crouching medium punch creates a similar situation where you're +3. So this is a frame trap, same as this. Either medium SPD, depending on the distance, either medium SPD or light SPD. So those two options can either go into a frame trap or SPD. If you want something tighter, something that they cannot do anything about, one option is headbutt, which is +8 into either hell stab or crouching medium punch. They cannot do anything about this. They have to take this. You can create a chip situation over here. So since they cannot escape it, and this is tight, you can go into super level 2, maybe something like this, in order to chip them. I think I read a comment in one of my videos where they recommended dry brush headbutt into this. This is called lock. Since I don't have frames, I don't have anything, any kind of gap over here, this is called a lock. And you're technically +1, but you don't get the stun. Because in order to get the stun, you need to have a certain amount of frames between the attack and the drive impact. You have to do an attack that has a gap. This is dangerous, because if the opponent has level 3 or level 1, they can reversal that situation. So you have to be very careful about the amount of super they have. If you want to go for the stun, like this, or headbutt, and they cannot jump it, and they cannot press anything, don't go into the lock situations. It's not worth it. It's just only +1. You can technically go for crouching light kick or SPD, but it is only +1, and it's not very helpful for Zangief. What do you do when the opponent is in Burnout? You poke them with a few buttons that create a situation where you can hit a mid and be plus and try to grab them. That is the ultimate goal. Now, one thing you have to consider is that there's a little bit of distance created every time they block. This is something that the game has in order for some frame traps to whiff, so the opponent can take their turn back. Now, Zangief has really long buttons, but you'll notice that this, for example, this is you are a little bit far compared to the regular crouching light kick into standing light punch. You can still grab the opponent, but this is very, very noticeable when you compare them with the regular version. But this is not really that much of an issue for Zangief, because he has some long buttons, so rarely you whiff. Now, since you get plus extra frames to every button you hit on block, there are some new frame traps you can go for, like crouching light punch. You are +5, so you can go into this and still be plus. Or you can go into this and be +6. So this is also a thing you can do. Basically, almost everything you do with punches, specifically with Zangief and crouching medium kick, is plus. So always think about how plus you are. This is +2 and this is +2 and this is +3. Which means any of those three can go into SPD. If the opponent is in Burnout and you drive rush, you get even more frames. Now, you do have to be careful, because this is +7, and sure, you can go into this, but I'd say it's not really worth it when the opponent is in Burnout and you're using your drive gauge. But I don't recommend going for this unless the opponent doesn't have Super 1 or 3, where, yeah, you can get the stun, but otherwise I think you're wasting bar for frames here. Your best follow-up is crouching light punch. I mean, sure, but I don't see that much value for drive rush. One thing you can do is to do knee more often, since knee is gonna be either 0 or plus, maybe +1. Now, what happens when you are in Burnout? And this is a big issue with Zangief. Yeah, and you will catch them. Since, again, you need to have a gap between the attack and the drive impact in order to create the stun situation. Otherwise, it will be a lock. You can mash Super 2. Be careful, obviously, because they can just not do the drive impact. So you need to see that the drive impact is coming at you. Why Super 2 instead of Super 3? You might be asking. If you're going to kill the opponent, it's better to go for Super 3. In most situations, the Super 2 creates a better comeback possibility for Zangief, because you have the opponent in the corner and you can poke them, since you're gonna be +5 or +1 if you hold the direction, and you can poke them and continue the pressure until you recover your drive gauge. All the time you are hitting the opponent with a super, you're recovering the drive gauge. As long as you keep poking the opponent with your lights, for example, you're recovering your drive gauge faster. So keep poking with lights, and be careful, obviously, because the opponent can wake up with something. This is not easy to do. Sometimes you press the button and you don't get the freaking standing hard punch. You have to do it at the end of the animation of the drive impact, and that is very hard. You can, if you see the drive impact, you can mash Super 2 or Super 3. So I'd say it's better to go for the supers, but if you get the timing right to get this thing, remember that from frame 4 you get armor, so technically you can't escape a 4-frame gap with this thing. It's definitely not easy, and some characters can hide that situation better than others, like Ken. So yeah, it's not easy, but Super 2, Super 3, and standing hard punch are your better options. Now there's a secret option that I don't quite recommend, which is kick parry. This works for a certain group of characters that have a drive impact that is a kick. So yeah, for them you can technically do it. It's not easy though. Can you do it? The starter is 5 frames, so I don't think I can get it here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can get it here, but a regular option with 5 frames of gap between the attack and the driving impact, you can technically get this. But I don't know, man. I hope this video helps. Thanks everyone again for following my channel, my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Kerubu. And also, we're close to 500 over here on YouTube. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe. We're gonna be talking more about Street Fighter in general, and obviously more Zangief. We got a new outfit. Haha. So yeah, guys, take care, keep playing grapplers, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.